Thank you for choosing Tern. We want to make sure that you stay safe while enjoying your new bike. So please take a moment with us as we walk you through the steps of using and maintaining your brand new ride. First, let's take a look at the two main joints. There's one on the frame and there's one on the handle post. To open the frame joint, move the security knob upward like this and pull the lever. To close the frame joint, push it in and move the security knob into place so it sits on top of the lever joint. To open the handle post joint, slide the security knob sideways and then pop open the handle post lever. To close the handle post joint, just close the handle post lever and slide the security knob back into place. Next, we're going to talk about quick releases. There's one here on the seat post, which is used to adjust the height of your saddle. There's one here on the handle post, which is used to adjust the height of your handlebars. And then there's one here, which is used to adjust the angle of your handlebars. They open with a simple pull of the clamp, and they close just as easily like this. To make it easier or harder to open or close the clamp, you can adjust the tension. Just open the clamp and twist the acorn like this. When using the quick release to adjust seat post height, please note that there's a minimum and a maximum insertion point. For safety reasons, please be sure that you stay within the range. Likewise, the handle post has a minimum insertion point. Again, for safety reasons, please stay above the minimum insertion point when you ride. Be sure that the levers on your quick releases and your folding joints are stiff when you operate them, but not too stiff. Ideally, you should be able to open them with 2 to 3 fingers and close them with the palm of your hand. If they're not properly adjusted, then there's a risk of injury, so just make sure that you adjust everything correctly before you ride. Folding and unfolding a Tern bike is easy, but it can take a bit of practice to commit all the steps to memory. We recommend practicing it a couple of times before heading out into the real world, referring back to this video if need be. First, rotate the crankset so that the left crank arm forms a 45-degree angle between the frame and the ground pointing forwards. Next, fold the pedals like this. Next, open the quick release on your saddle, drop the saddle down, and turn it 45 degrees to the left before closing the quick release again. Now, open the quick release at the top of your handle post. Rotate the handlebars so the brake levers point upward. Next, open the quick release in the middle of your handle post and lower your handlebars to around the 11 mark. Now slide the security lock to the side and pop open the handle post lever before folding the handle post down. To open the frame joint, simply raise the security knob and open the lever. Now fold the frame in half, engaging the magnetics at the back of the bike. Finally, engage the magnetics to keep your bike folded. First, disengage the magnetics and unfold the bike. To close the frame joint, simply close the lever and lower the security knob. Now, we'll bring the handle post up, close the handle post lever, and rotate the security lock into place. Now, open the quick release in the middle of your handle post and raise the handlebars to your desired riding position. Then, open the quick release at the top of the handle post and rotate your handlebars till you're comfortable and ready to ride. Now, open your quick release and bring your saddle up to the desired riding position before closing it again. Next, unfold the pedal, like this and like this. So there are a few things you need to check on your bike before each ride. To help you remember them all, we suggest you use this mnemonic device. A, B, C, Q, D. A is for air. Check your tire pressure. Use your thumb to press down on the tire. It should feel nice and firm, but be sure not to overinflate it. B stands for brakes and bars. To inspect your brakes, just squeeze the levers and make sure that your bike stops. And by bars, we mean the handlebar, the handle post, and the stem. Just inspect everything carefully to make sure that it's nice and tight, that everything is undamaged, and you should be good to go. C stands for chain and cables. Grab one of your pedals and rotate it backwards to run your chain through the gears. Next, inspect the cables to make sure that they're untangled and undamaged. Q stands for quick release. Make sure that the two main folding joints and all of the quick releases on your bike are properly closed. Here, 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 and here. D stands for drop test. Simply lift your bike a few inches off the ground and drop it. If anything shakes or rattles, just inspect and adjust that area. Also be sure before you ride to make sure there are no cracks developing on the frame joint. Now let's talk about braking. The rear brake lever is mounted on your left handlebar grip, and the front brake lever is mounted on the right. For certain countries, it could be the other way around, so please double check with your dealer or try before you ride. Now squeeze both the front and the rear brake evenly to slow down or stop. Next, let's look at how to use your gears so that you can control your speed and pedaling resistance. This indicator shows you whether you're in a low gear or a high gear. To start off, you want to use a low gear around a 4 or maybe even a 5. Remember to only switch gears while you're pedaling. To switch gears, just turn the grip shift until you reach the desired gear. Or press the lever if you have a trigger shift. Just like a car, your bike needs regular maintenance to stay safe and reliable. Your bike is made up of lots of different moving parts. Since they're rubbing against each other, they need to be lubricated. Your chain is probably the first object on the bike that needs a little bit of maintenance lubrication, especially if you hear it squeaking or if you've been riding in the rain. So if your bike needs to be lubricated, just take it over to your local Tern dealer and they can recommend something for you to put on your chain. After you apply it, make sure to wipe off all of the excess grease so it's relatively clean and you don't get any markings on your legs during a commute. There are several parts of your bike that will wear out over time. These include the rims, the brake pads, and the tires. Your rims and your brake pads have wear lines. When you can no longer see these, visit your Tern dealer and have them replaced. When your tire's tread starts to wear out, or when the sidewalls of the tire start to crack, it's also time to have those replaced. We also recommend that you periodically check that your wheels are true, or in other words, straight. To check them, lift your front wheel and spin. Check for any excessive side-to-side motion and check that the rim is not rubbing against the brake pad. Also, check your spokes to make sure that nothing is broken or loose. If you find anything warped or damaged with your wheels, just bring your bike into your local Tern dealer and they'll help sort you out. Regular maintenance is key to the enjoyment and longevity of your new Tern bicycle. If you're a weekend or light rider, try to take your bike into your dealer every quarter. Whereas if you're a daily rider, aim to bring your bike into your local dealer once a month. Regardless of how much you ride, aim to bring your bike into a dealer within a month after initially purchasing it. Cables and brakes take a little bit of time to settle, so you'll enjoy your bike the most if it's tuned up after a month of riding. So that about covers it. Remember, there's plenty of additional information in your user manual or under the tips and tricks section of turnbicycles.com. And your dealer is always available to answer your questions. Thanks again for choosing Tern.